Hello everyone, I decided to make a Easter card today. I'm using the Victoria Garden Echo Park paper pad. This is some Gina K cardstock, and this is Lucky Limeade from Stampin' Up cardstock. And this pink and yellow are also from Stampin' Up. I just don't know the names of them. All the pattern papers are from that Victoria Garden pack. I just cut out a circle from with my Nestabilities and a scallop circle from the Nestabilities. There's the circle die, and then the scallop is on that side right there. And then I also used a punch, the knockout punch. That's not it. I don't know when I grabbed that one. That's just a scallop. This knockout punch by American Crafts to make that little edge. And I just edged that piece of pattern paper from the pack with that yellow scallop with the dot. And that's how it ended up. I think I'm going to lay it out. But then I want to start on my stamps. This is a Nina white cardstock, and this is the Spring Fling set from Paper Smooches. Adorable stamp set. I'm going to use this little chick, a paintbrush. The sentiment says live in color, an egg, and then some little swiggly lines for the egg. With my black memento ink. And I was having major trouble stamping today, so you'll see I stamped this like 3 or 4 times. So I did the little chick, and then I wanted him to be holding the paintbrush, like he's painted the egg. So I did that, and then I slipped, and the paintbrush messed up, so I couldn't use that one. So I tried again, and on this one, the chick had a smudge. Arg. So I tried again. There's the chick, and it turned out pretty good, and the paintbrush. Try him again. There we go. And that one turned out pretty good. So then I stamped the sentiment, and then I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it on white or the colors, so I actually did it on the yellow and the pink as well, just so I could kind of have a choice. I could pick which one I thought I liked better. And then my luck didn't continue. I had to do this egg a couple times too. So I had the egg, and I wanted to put the decoration on the inside, and I kind of messed that up. Sorry for my head. It was kind of smudged, so I decided to try again. Egg and decorations again. And this time I think, yeah, I messed up again. So I thought, okay, this time I'll try to do the decoration first. Usually these stamps aren't really hard to line up. I just was really struggling today. And then I did the egg on top of that. Sorry for my hair there in the way. And I didn't actually complete it all the way to the edge, but you'll see me fix that later with my memento marker. And then I just got out some Copics. And to color the chick, I just used 3 colors. The lightest that I use first is Y11. And then the mid color is Y15, and then the darkest yellow is Y17. There's the light. And then the medium. I usually do the darkest next, but I just went kind of in backwards order. And then the dark, just along the very outside. And then I took the medium again, and I blended those together. And then I used the light to blend all of those together. And then back with did a little bit more with the medium. And I was getting the paper pretty wet, so I did have a little bit of seeping into the eyes, but I just used my Zero colorless blender to get that out. And then I used the medium color to color the feathers on the head. And then I did the same trio of colors for the body and the wings of the little chick. Exactly the same method. And then the beak, I don't remember what color that is an orange. I don't have very many oranges. It was the only one I had, so I just grabbed it. And there I am fixing the eyes again. I waited till it dried completely, and I fixed that. And then this pink for the paint is RV04. And then for the metal part that holds the paint, or the paintbrush itself, is E17. And then that is a gray. I don't know which gray it was. Probably like C4. And then the brush, I couldn't decide what color I wanted, so I decided just to go with the same brown that I had already done, and I used just E17 again for the brush handle. It just made it that much easier, just get it done. Then, after I did this, I just did that one more coat of that color. Then, just to make it a little bit deeper than the actual paintbrush color. And then I used a little silver glitter on the metal there. And then I switched to the egg. And I started at the top of the egg with the RV04, the same pink that was on the paintbrush. I love these colors, these Copic colors. They're so bright and vivid. I love it. And then you can see how where the lines don't touch the end of the egg. So I used my Memento marker, and I just finished those little lines just a little bit. So then I did the pink, and then the next is a green, and that's YG25. And then I did that on top and bottom of the squiggly line, that little swirly line. And it matched the Lucky Limeade really well, so I was very happy with that. And then I used B21 for the next line, that just little thin line, and the little circles look like little cursive E's, and that little line right there. And then I used, for the bottom, I used the Y17, the same as I used on the chick, the darkest color, for the bottom of the egg. I wanted a really bright, colorful Easter egg. And then I just took my Tim Holtz scissors, and I just rough cut all those out, because I'm going to use my Nestabilities to cut out those, and then my Cutter Bee scissors to actually cut out the egg. So here I just roughly cut them all out so I could actually fit them into my Cuttlebug. If not, they're not going to go in there. And then, so I wanted to do the kind of it's called the out of the box technique. I use it a lot because I just like the way it looks. So I cut out the paintbrush itself to start with, and I cut it down quite a ways because I want a really tight little circle in on the little chick. So I cut that all the way down. Then I laid down the die where I want it, and then I marked where it ends on that paintbrush, the part that I want to stick out. And I just cut all the way down to where those marks are, and you got to go to the second mark, and you'll see I didn't quite go far enough. So I test it here in a second. I go under the brush and over the chick, and it's not quite where I wanted it, so I just needed to trim down just a smidge more. So under the brush and over the chick, and then I just use some Post-it little tape stuff that I have, and I use that to stick it down so it doesn't move when I put it in the machine. And then also the same thing for this. I just use a little bit of that for the for the scalloped oval, and I pulled out my Cuttlebug. And then the sandwich that I use for this is I put down the A plate, of course. I put down a B. I put down the dies, and then I use the C plate on top of that. So it cuts into the B plate, which you can tell my B plate is well loved. And then while I was at it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to cut out the pink and the yellow of the sentiment also. So I got those out, and I just used the tape again, and I taped those down. And I did the pink. And then I did the same thing with the yellow because I wasn't sure exactly what color I wanted to use because I didn't know if the white would kind of sink into the background on that card. So cut that all out. Then I put away my Cuttlebug because it takes up a lot of space. And so I had the 3 sentiments, the chick, and I just carefully took him out of there. See how it looks like the little paintbrush is just sticking out? I love that. It's almost 3D. Then I erased the pencil lines that I made because I had made them really light so you couldn't see them. And then I realized I needed to trim just a smidge more off on the paintbrush just so you didn't see any white. And then I cut out, using my cutter bee scissors, I love those, I cut out the egg. They're great for fine detail. And then because I hand cut it out, it always gets a little bit wonky. So I just grab my nail file buffer block. It's the same as one for card making, and I just smooth around the outside. Just smooth it out a little bit. And then I realized I kind of want to ink around the circle. So I used some Angel Pink Memento ink to go all the way around that. And I even kind of rubbed it a little bit on the top there just to kind of pick up the embossing that I had done. I think that's the Swiss Dot Cuttlebug embossing folder that I ran that through. I think it's called Swiss Dot. Just a really fine little polka dot. And then I used the Dandelion, I think it's called Dandelion, Memento ink to do that other shape there. So then I glued down the strip first. I'm just making it, using my mat to make it real nice and straight. And then trimmed off the extra with my scissors. And then the circle, did the same exact thing. There we go. And then I got out some dimensional adhesive, and I was going to pop up the little chick, but I was afraid his paintbrush would kind of get moved around and kind of ruined, so I actually decided just to stick him down flat. So here I'm lining stuff up just to kind of see how I like it. And then I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. I liked the yellow on the top, but I kind of liked the pink as a shadow. So I did that, and then I was like, well, why don't I just use the white as kind of a highlight? So I made the white a highlight and the pink a shadow. So I ended up using all three of the sentiments that I punched out, just in a kind of non-traditional way. So then I stuck down the little guy here. And ran adhesive all the way down the paintbrush just so it wouldn't get torn off the card if I give it to somebody and they're not as careful with it. That's okay. Then I used some dimensional adhesives on that and on the sentiment. I used lots because I like the things to be really stuck down. Put the egg down, and I wasn't kind of sure I liked it like that. Then the sentiment up in the right-hand corner, and then it looked really kind of plain down in the lower right-hand corner and the upper left-hand corner. So I thought I'd use some of these little flowers that I got in a Easter kit that I bought from Paper Smooches. It came with these little felt flowers that are so cute. And then I thought, oh, I'll use the ribbon that also came in that set, and I'll put a bow up in the top corner. But I just couldn't quite get it how I wanted. I kind of messed with the bow a couple times and tried to work on that, and that just wasn't working for me. And then I thought of, well, maybe if I do a different style bow. And so in the long run, I just ditched the whole ribbon idea, and I just went with another set of the felt flowers. And I just I went in my stash and I used my Mat Pat to poke holes in there with my little tool there. And I got out 2 yellow brads, and that's what I used to hold the little flowers on. They were the perfect color, perfect shade of yellow. So I just punched it. I'm using a matte stack, the matte stack from Stampin' Up. Amy R. Prairie Paper and Ink uses it a lot, and I really liked it, so I got one of those. I like how it's got a tool on one end for brad setting, and the other is for the hole. I like that a lot. Perfect. And then I just took the Stampin' Up! Lucky Limeade pad, and I ran it all the way around the outside of the Gina K 120 weight cardstock that I had made into a just a regular A2 size card. And then I used adhesive on the back of the little front part. And I just stuck that down, and there you have my finished card. I hope you guys like it. Thanks a bunch.